Hello everyone, welcome to Ringside with Rob and Maddy from the Easy Degree. On the coattails of Wrestlemania and following Raw and SmackDown Live, there have been some truly profound changes to the landscape of sports entertainment, and it's our responsibility to keep you in the know.
Oh, is that where
I was kind of hoping I thought we had a dynamic here.
Oh, no.
The recognized symbol of excellence in sports entertainment.
So first we're going to start with a recap of the grandest stage of them all. So what happened? Actually quite a lot. There's a record-breaking 7 or 8 title changes and lots of interesting things happening at Wrestlemania, so we'll start with a recap.
Yes, so to bring us open to begin the show, Tony Nese versus Buddy Murphy led to a win by Tony Nese, giving us a new Cruiserweight champion.
And the revival of shit.
They didn't shit.
They shat the bed.
Well, technically.
With a surprise victory, they were playing dead.
Yeah, Kurt Hawkins played possum
Yeah.
to trick the revival into getting closer, then he rolled them up for a win.
A+ storytelling, that's what I'm here for.
I'm not surprised, I'm just disappointed.
I am very disappointed.
We then had the opening of the show with WrestleMania's host Alexa Bliss being joined by a Hall of Famer again, Hulk Hogan. The two of them had a bit of a pose before being interrupted like a giant overgrown baby, Paul Heyman waddling his way down to the ring to announce that if they're not going to be closing the show, then Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins will be opening it. The match didn't really get started until, well, they both got put into the ring because Brock Lesnar, incensed at being kicked in the ding-dong a couple of times, attacked Seth on the way to the ring. And when they finally got in, the referee got accidentally ejected, so Seth used that opening to give another low blow to Brock Lesnar. Curb stomped him 3 times and picked up the pin in a match that was technically 2.5 minutes long.
And AJ Styles got the win over Randy Orton and presumably has successfully paid rent.
After a match with many a kick to the head, the Usos retained the SmackDown Tag Team titles in a match against Ricochet and Aleister Black, against Rusev and Nakamura, and against The Bar. Honestly, not the result I expected.
I thought that if Rusev and Nakamura didn't win, the Usos were going to retain. It was a fun match.
Yeah, it was definitely a good match. Again, just not the result I expected at the time.
In a rather spectacular match, we had Shane versus The Miz. The Shane.
The Shane.
Shane actually technically won the match when they had a huge drop off some rigging and Shane happened to land on top of The Miz. We also got to see the in-ring debut of Mr. Miz, The Miz's dad, as he punched Shane in the eye.
I'm telling you, that's going to be a match at SummerSlam.
Oh,
Mr.
God.
Miz versus Shane McMahon. And another shocking victory. The Iconics got the pin against the Hug and Boss Connection to become the new Women's Tag Team Champions. Of all the outcomes I expected, this wasn't it.
I'd much rather have the Iconics win than Nia and Tamina.
Very, very true.
At least they're entertaining and at least they have some real character. In what was the most emotional match of the night, Kofi Kingston made an 11-year-old dream come true when he beat the new Daniel Bryan and became the new WWE Champion. This was a wonderful match with Kofi and Xavier. I don't know where I was going with that bit. Big E and Xavier had a lot of fun binning old Daniel Bryan's belt.
Hey, it's recyclable.
It is recyclable, so could be a lot worse. And uncovering the old WWE Championship, which Kofi relished in wrapping around his waist and celebrating.
It felt so damn good. Like, a small part of me still thought, he might not get it. He might not get it.
Yeah, I can't believe even after all these weeks of knowing he's got to win, there was still that little bit of doubt. Like, are they gonna screw us? Are they gonna do it again?
No, they didn't. It was what we deserved, what he deserved, and what you deserve, viewer. Except for if you wanted Daniel Bryan to win, in which case I'm sorry. Stop trying to save the planet, assholes.
Yeah, I'm glad they've dropped that gimmick a little bit because it was weird, like, that gimmick being the bad guy.
Samoa Joe retained his title against Rey Mysterio in a 1-minute match. 55 seconds of watching a small man get choked to death by a big one. Technically it was 55 seconds actually.
Get it right.
We think, we're not certain, we think this match was actually cut down a little bit to make room elsewhere in the show. There was, I believe, supposed to be some work with Rey Mysterio's son Dominic, but we didn't get that unfortunately.
If there's a match to cut, this is one of them.
Yeah, like it didn't need to be very long, and it sold Samoa Joe as the powerhouse he truly
They can just have another good match in a month or so. And Roman Reigns, surprisingly, not really, stood tall over Drew McIntyre after getting revenge for several weeks of beatdowns and embarrassments. It was an okay match.
I don't know if it needed to be on the card at the end of the day.
No, I think they could have maybe cut that a little bit more.
But no, it was Roman's first big singles win
Yeah.
since he got back, so I guess there is that to be said about it.
And Drew's fine to take the loss.
Yeah, exactly. He's still a hilariously scary Scottish man. Elias played with himself in 2 separate video recordings. as he played as a three-man band with piano and drums.
That was really surreal.
Which was interrupted by a very surprising appearance of John Cena, the Doctor of Thugonomics.
Out of all the things I expected John Cena to do,
It wasn't the Doctor of Thugonomics, was it?
I don't think John Cena's been this popular ever.
No, it was...
The reaction of the crowd.
Yeah, it was great. The Doctor of Thugonomics himself dissed Elias with a rap before delivering a FU.
In a grueling 30-minute match, Triple H and Batista fought for their careers. Well, Triple H did, and Batista just fought because he likes it, I guess. Triple H stood victorious at the end of the match, and it was pretty entertaining, actually.
Yeah, I was actually amazed at how little ring rust Batista had.
He hasn't really lost a step.
No,
apart from tripping when he went in the ring.
That was so funny. Like, he was doing really well on his intro as well. He hit the machine gun right in time with the pyro, and listening to that theme has gotten it stuck in my head.
Oh, you've been singing it.
I can't help it. It's just so catchy. Yeah! It's so good.
Well, unfortunately, never again.
No, he then retired, unfortunately.
It's nice that he didn't try and steal the thunder of Kurt Angle's retirement.
No, that's very, very true. I think that would have been a real big FU to Kurt Angle.
And Kurt Angle followed the age-old tradition of losing your retirement match. It's a shame it happened to be against Baron Corbin, but he took it with good grace. And it's fun to hate Baron.
I mean, he's probably the most dislikable wrestler on the roster right now. The Demon shocked nobody, obliterating Bobby Lashley for the Intercontinental Championship in another quite short match, but again, a very satisfying one to watch.
That was a fun match.
It was, and also gets my award for Best Walk-On of the Night. That was an absolutely fantastic intro. And then, to finish out the show, Becky Lynch, the man, came out victorious over Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair in a kind of confusing and sudden ending. She got a backslide pin for 1, 2, 3, and then became Becky 2 belts. I still don't know what I think of that match. It felt like it was just about getting going.
It felt like it needed 10 more minutes.
Yeah.
It didn't help that it looked shoddy for the pin.
Yes, it did.
Well, I'm sure they're setting it up that, oh, you didn't make me tap out, so I'll fight you again in 6 months or whatever. If you've enjoyed this recap of WrestleMania, stay tuned for our Raw after WrestleMania and SmackDown Live after WrestleMania videos coming soon. Please like, share, and subscribe for more AFK, side quest, ringside footage. And see you soon.
Yeah, have a break.